Welcome back, everybody, to my Winging It with John channel. This is the part I have been anticipating. It came in today, even a day early, so I'm going to mess with it tonight since I just got home from work, and here it is. The controversy might create itself in that up here where it mounts, I think it's going to mount right here on this surface. And I think there's a conflict with a bolt that's down inside here, that the lower bolt becomes part of that mount is also what holds this fog light bracket in place. But I won't know until I get in there. So I'm going to dive in now and check it out. I'm not going to give you the how-to. I'll give you the after the results here in a second. All right, the left side is mounted. I did share the top bolt gets replaced with a new one that comes in the kit. And it does share the same mount hole as the horn does. So to get that bolt out, I had to take the bracket for the light kit that I've got installed. The bracket bolt for that, there's two of them and they just come out. And I kind of move the light away, and I get that the lower bolt for this hook mount out, and put everything in and torqued it and put it all back together. And I had to kind of realign my light. Actually, it's a little bit off, but I'm going to wait and do the other side and see how much of that is going to be interference and not, because it really is crowding the bracket for these fog lights. I really do like these fog lights, and if I had to pick between the two, I'd keep the fog lights and lose the bracket. But let me get to the other side and let's see what happens. Okay, here on the right side with the cowl cover removed, it's kind of just hanging here because the LED cowl light that I installed is kind of tied up in there. But here you'll see how this thing is going to go in here. And it's going to go in just about like that right there, but it's going to share this lower bolt hole down here. So I got to get that bolt out, and the space between here is about a half an inch or so, and that bolt is probably an inch long. So I got to take these loose on this light bracket and swing it out of the way to get that bolt out all the way, to mount that bracket in place. But it does work. The light bracket's only being pushed out the thickness of this tie-down bracket. So that's probably about a 3/16 to a little less than a 1/4 inch thickness of the steel. So I don't think there's enough to be so significant I can't make it work. So let me get this side together. Okay, here's where the problem comes. I'm on the right side, and this forward cowl, as you can see, I got the tab in where it's supposed to be on the lower bottom down here, and it's not pushed back all the way for that tab to go in because it's hitting right here. I don't know if you can see that right, the angle I've got, but the cutout in that cowl to go over that piece of the frame is now rubbing on that bracket, because that bracket's on the inside of the frame on this side. And so I'm going to have to pull this cowl off and trim out some of that plastic of that bracket right there. Or not the bracket, the plastic of the cowl. So let me work on that. Okay, as you can see, I trimmed out to make the knots in the cowl that slides over that frame pocket area. I trimmed it out over to where the radius is. I tried to take out a smaller sliver piece, this first one here, but it didn't. It wasn't enough. It was still kind of causing it to spread it a little too much to make it not fit quite right. So right now my holes are lining up. My notches are tight on this side. So I'm going to go with it. I cleaned it up a little bit with a file. I just used a pair of metal snips to cut that plastic, and that first cut was trying to be the same thickness as the metal is there, but there's more to it than that. So anyway, it's an interference fit at a minimum, and a little bit of rework is required. My light, for the most part, is lined up the way I want it. I haven't tried it yet, but it looks like it's where I need it to be. I can loosen the screws and pivot that a little bit if I need to, but I think we're in good shape. So looks like the tie down hooks are staying on for now. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned. I got some more things coming up here in the next few days. But until then, keep on winging it.